Ellie here with WhoCulture, here with some more Doctor Who news. I really feel like we're being treated with all this Doctor Who news and content lately. We had the Stephen Moffat rumour, we've got Comic Relief, Red Nose Day coming up on Friday, which David Tennant is playing a very big role in. And now we've got another report. Now, before I do get into it, I do need to say that we need to take this with a pinch of salt. This isn't an official announcement by the BBC, but we do have reason to believe that this report is true, which we will go into a little bit more detail later on. But the Mirror is reporting that we are going to get a unit spin-off, which will be led by Gemma Redgrave, who obviously plays Kate Stewart. Now, obviously, we've had a little bit of suggestion and speculation that we are going to get spin-offs for Doctor Who in the future. The Whoniverse that's been referred to quite often lately. I mean, Bad Wolf Studios literally have Whoniverse on their wall now, so we know that Russell T Davies is planning on expanding Doctor Who into a sort of franchise. So this could be the first of many new spin-offs coming our way. So before we go too far into this, let's just have a quick recap on what UNIT is, just in case there are people who aren't aware. So UNIT stands for Unified Intelligence Task Force. They first appeared during the Second Doctor's era, and they're basically an organisation that combats alien threats on Earth. Pretty much like Torchwood, except Torchwood was kind of a small band of kind of rebels, if you like, very secretive, whereas UNIT is an official government department specifically for alien threats. Now, Kate was first introduced by Chris Chibnall in the 11th Doctor story, The Power of Three, which personally I think is a very underrated episode. I know the ending was a little bit iffy, but I really enjoyed that episode. Then she also appeared alongside the 12th Doctor and the 13th Doctor as well, so she is a very popular character. Which leads us on to one of the reasons we believe this report to be true. Now, we know already that Kate will be appearing in Series 14. We've had announcements of that, and we've also seen set pictures of Gemma Redgrave and Millie Gibson on set filming Series 14. We also know that UNIT will be playing a role or playing a big part in the 60th anniversary specials, which seems like a really good place for Russell T Davies to re-establish these characters, this element of Doctor Who, and then they can then springboard into a spin-off with these new characters or with this department. Now, another reason that we believe this to be true is that the writer of this particular article in The Mirror is one of the more notable writers. She has reported on things before that have turned out to be true. For example, she reported that Jodie Whittaker would be leaving Doctor Who after Series 13, which, I mean, if you count those three specials as kind of part of Series 13, they weren't really in a series as they were just kind of standalone, but she did depart. Series 13 was her last series. This writer also reported that Series 12 would tackle environmental issues such as plastic pollution, and of course we then had that in the episode Praxeus, and then later on Orphan 55 tackled global warming. So this is a more reputable source. Glasses. Okay, so here is what the article said about this new show. Doctor Who fans are about to be whisked into a parallel universe with another spin-off series from the hit sci-fi programme. The Torchwood-style offshoot will be based on UNIT, the military research organisation introduced in the 1960s. Gemma Redgrave, 58, will star as head of scientific research Kate Stewart, a role she has played since 2012. It then goes on to say that Kate and her team will appear in a festive special before the spin-off arrives. Now, there are a few things in that we should probably unpack. First of all, that parallel universe mentioned there. Now, that's probably just a play on words to make the article more engaging and kind of make that spin-off seem more interesting. But you can't help but think about things such as Rose Tyler being stuck in that parallel universe, and then the suggestion that if it's a unit in a parallel universe, will we see the return of Rose or Pete Tyler and that band of people joining UNIT. The other thing that sparks a little bit of intrigue is the comparison to Torchwood, this Torchwood-style spin-off. Does that mean more adult themes, more adult content? Now, obviously Disney Plus, which will have a big say in what happens with Doctor Who and any spin-offs going forward. They do have Star on Disney Plus, which does host a lot of more adult TV shows and films. So there is the potential for UNIT to follow in Torchwood's footsteps and be more focused and targeted at adults. Personally, I think that the mention of Torchwood here is just to kind of exaggerate the fact that this is a spin-off and that it's similar to Torchwood in the way that it's a group of people fighting aliens from Earth rather than from space. But it's something to think about. So the article also then went on to talk about the Doctor Who expanded universe, and as I did mention earlier, we do have this kind of Whoniverse beginning to grow. So it does suggest that this will just be one of many spin-offs that are yet to come. Now, I am still holding out hope for a River Song spin-off, so if the powers that be are listening, River Song spin-off, please and thank you, love from Ellie. So the other thing that we also then need to think about is who is going to appear in this UNIT spin-off. Obviously, we're going to have Kate. Who else? Now, a source for The Mirror states that Doctor Who has always featured strong women in positions of authority. So could that mean that this spin-off is going to focus on the female characters, on those strong female characters within UNIT? Potentially. We do have some strong female characters, but there are plenty of other people who could appear as well. Now, the casting director of Doctor Who, Andy Pryor, posted a photo with Freema Agyeman a little while ago, which Russell T Davies then commented on, and that sparked a lot of speculation that we were going to see Martha Jones again. She would be a character that would make a lot of sense to appear in a UNIT spin-off. Martha Jones worked for UNIT during David Tennant's era, and although she seemingly left during that kind of farewell tour little snippet that we saw of her with Mickey, it definitely would make sense for Martha to be present. Even if it's not very big of a role, but it would make sense for Martha to be present for a UNIT spin-off. She also did appear in Torchwood, so we know that Martha is a character who has appeared across other spin-offs of Doctor Who as well. So of course, if we've got Kate Stewart, then another character who would make a lot of sense to appear would be Osgood. We haven't seen Osgood for a while, but a UNIT spin-off again with Kate, Osgood definitely would be a good suggestion there. And then, of course, at the end of The Power of the Doctor, we had this kind of companion support group. And Kate even kind of put those feelers out there, asking people, you know, when she can recruit them. So any of those could make an appearance. But then, of course, you then had Ace and Tegan in the Power of the Doctor, so they might play a big role in a UNIT spin-off. I think they probably will, to be honest. If I'm making a prediction, I think we probably will see a bit more of Ace and Tegan. That's just a little inkling that I have. Obviously you had Mel was in that group as well, so we may see her. There are other people as well. If you think about the trailers for the 60th, we have characters who, as of yet, are unnamed, unidentified, but we've seen them. You know, you've got Ruth Madeley appearing in that trailer, so depending on who her character is, could she end up being a part of this UNIT spin-off? And then, with that reference to Torchwood, you of course have Gwen Cooper, who there has been a lot of speculation around recently, people suggesting that she was returning in some form, which was also sparked by photos of her or videos of her with Gemma Redgrave, which in hindsight now, maybe she is appearing with Gemma Redgrave in this UNIT spin-off, or, you know, they might just be friendly with each other, they might know each other from various conventions, and she was just saying hi. But that's another character who very much would make sense to appear to some degree, and there has been speculation surrounding, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Gwen Cooper there as well. But let us know in the comments below, A, what your thoughts are on a UNIT spin-off. Is that the kind of spin-off you were expecting or hoping for, or does it not really strike you as something that you're going to enjoy? If this is the case and we are getting a UNIT spin-off, who would you like to see appearing? Usually spin-offs do contain past companions and previous characters and familiar faces, so It's a given that we're probably going to see some, so who would you like to see? We will probably see you very soon. As I say, Comic Relief is happening on Friday, so we may well have something for you then. But in the meantime, make sure that you are keeping yourself safe, keeping yourself happy. Make sure that you are following us on all the various social medias, Instagram, Twitter, our personal accounts as well, for all that Doctor Who content. I've been Ellie with WhoCulture, and in the words of Riversong herself, goodbye, sweeties.